David Beckham's always had a love affair with football. His mum and dad's East End sitting room was the first arena to witness his skills. United red and England white adorning his back even then. Home movies catching and keeping the earliest dreams alive.
I've always wanted to kick a ball. Every Christmas present was like football and a football kit, Man United football kit. You know, my mum and dad used to buy me a United football kit, my granddad used to buy me the Tottenham football kit. It was like Tottenham Schultz United top.
As a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old, just wore Manchester United clothes the whole time. He didn't want to go anywhere else. Manchester United was his team. David was a very shy young lad with bundles of enthusiasm, spindly, short, small, but a lovely kid, a lovely smile on his face, and football mad, football nuts.
Started playing for Ridgeway Rovers when I was 7. 7 or 8, I think it was.
Sounds like a made-up name, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ridgeway Rovers.
It was a made-up name, actually.
It's Bobby and the Blues.
So I put an advert in the paper for boys of 7 if they wanted to come down for form under-8s team. And we had 44 boys turn up, of which David was one. His touch and his striking of the ball was the thing that stood out. I mean, say even on, we used to play on full-size pitches, you could put the ball down for a corner and you could hit the middle of the goal, you know, at 8 years of age. It's fantastic for a kid of his size. And he used to get the ball, look up, and he just used to chip the ball over the keeper's head, you know, and it was so simple for him, you know, he didn't sort of think anything of it. And he used to score spectacular goals like that all the time.
He's a perfect example for the young kids nowadays. You don't have to be a tall, big lad that can kick it or welly it 50 yards. If you've got good technique, no matter how small you are, you can chip a ball in sixpence, really, if you want to, and he could.
I've always practiced everything to do with football. You know, me and my dad used to go over the park and practice right foot, left foot, kicking up in the air, touches, things like that.
Father Ted and Ridgeway Rovers' very own Roy Ray set their eyes on greater things, but his idols were 250 miles north. Distance wouldn't keep them apart, though. When destiny calls, it shouts very loudly.
Went to the Bobby Charlton Soccer School, won that when I was 11. And then it sort of went on from there.
Well, soccer schools were to give an opportunity for young lads to learn the techniques and how to, if they wanted to, you know, have the opportunity to go into the game of football, you know, at the top level. He'd already been practising, though. I mean, I think he's one of those lads that had practised all his life, really, since he could play football. And he watched football and he tried to copy the best things from people, and he loved the game. You could tell he wanted to do it.
We've got the Bobby Charlton lads here who've won a competition to go to Barcelona. Come over here, boys. Right, what are you looking forward to, Dave?
I'm looking forward to seeing Mark Hughes in the stadium.
Can we see a bit of your skills?
Just keep the ball up throw anyway.
Little David's good, isn't he?
David's very good. He's only young, but he's got a tremendous amount of skill. Not just at juggling, but at all the other skills in the test that we do. David, can you give us a trick now, please? There we go.
Oh, lovely.
There we go.
Jakey, what are you up to?
I'm with David Beckham. Remember David Beckham from last week? And he went to Barcelona. What was it like, David?
It was brilliant.
Brilliant? Yeah. Did you meet Lineker? Gary Lineker?
Yeah, Mark Hughes and
Oh, I'm madly jealous. Do you want to play football professionally now?
Yes.
Got the bug. Some skills from David there.
Yeah, he's done it before, hasn't he, David? Yeah, he's a bit special.
There's a nice bit of style.
There were so many clubs after David, it was untrue.
Honestly?
Oh, there was Everton sent us a letter, Nottingham Forest, obviously all the London clubs, Arsenal, West Ham, Tottenham.
I think because I'd been a Man United supporter my whole life, you know, there was only one that I was waiting for, you know, them to come in, and never did think they would.
It was one of the games Ted hadn't been to, and David had really played well that day. And I stood there waiting for him, because he was always the last one out the changing room. Come out with his bag over his shoulder, and I just said to him, you know, it's a good job today, you had a good game. And he went, oh, why is that? I said, well, the Manchester United scout was there, and I said, he's coming round to see us later tonight. Well, he just cried. He just jumped up in the air and he cried. Because he always used to say, I don't think they're ever going to find me down here.
Well, I used to go to a lot of games, you know, a lot of the players rib me for it now because I used to turn up in a little blazer and a Man United tie and I used to go into the change rooms, and Steve Bruce still mentions it now, you know. I remember him turning around to me and saying, this must be some player, because I used to be there nearly every game. You know, I was mascot for one game at West Ham.
Did the players used to rib him when he came
Oh, I hammer him, but I think he used to like that as a kid. You can imagine, my kid would be the same. You can imagine your lad walking into Man United's dressing room with 12, 13 years of age and sitting there and having dinner with us and all the rest of it, you know. He must have thought it was wonderful, and, well, he got a bit of stick towards the end, yeah.
Today the spotlight fell on Italy and the World Cup as champions Argentina kicked off the tournament. Of course, every young player dreams of taking part in soccer's greatest event.
But for one 14-year-old boy who has just signed for Manchester United, the question is, will he be able to handle the fame and fortune, or will he self-destruct?
The waiting is over. The World Cup has started, and throughout the country, young lads are kicking, dribbling and dreaming. And for most of them, it's all about their idol, England captain Brian Robson.
Forward, this is Blackmore, this is Robson, time to control it and pick his place.
But for many, the chance of meeting, let alone emulating their hero, is an impossible dream. But for this 14-year-old Chingford lad, David Beckham, the dream has become a reality. Because despite being chased by top clubs Spurs and Arsenal, he's just signed with Robson's home team, Manchester United.
David, will you hurry up? You're late.
Now, what happens now? He's leaving school and he's going north. Now, what's going to happen?
Most likely, which ain't been decided yet, he'll move up to Manchester, either finish his schooling off up there, and then he'll go into digs up there. We've met his next mum and dad, so to speak, and they're lovely, so we've got no worries.
There's a picture of you there, signing with Alex Ferguson.
Mm.
What was it like when you signed that? How did you feel when you...
Well, it was brilliant, straight from when we left here. When we got there, it was just brilliant. Signing the paper and that. Just couldn't believe it was happening.
I presume you're really looking forward to it. But won't you miss home?
I probably will miss it a little bit, but I'll be doing what I want to do, so...
Annie and Tommy Kay, they was my favourite landlady and landlord, because it was more sort of like my mum and dad, and it was more homely, and you know, there's people always popping in and out, and you know, that was the best time I had up here.
He's good, he clears up the table and he'll wash his cups and saucers and he'll wipe the table down when he's finished, makes himself toast. He's good.
Is he? In at the right time?
Oh, yes.
You must be very proud of him.
Very dedicated he is, really.
Is he?
He is.
It was weird because, you know, the Diggs lads seems to stick together, and, you know, the Northern lads used to always stick together, and I don't think they actually liked me that much when I first come up, because I used to have the Man United tracksuit and the nice Adidas boots even then. It was, you know, I think there was a bit sort of always a little cockney, flash little so-and-so.
No, what made us think that?
Typical cockney, really. Quite flashy, you know, wore all the nice gear.
Becks was the biggest pose, you know, and he had, you know, he was into his clothes and that when, at a young age too. And
obviously we had our little cliques we used to knock about with your own personal friends and like one or two from the club, but most of the time we'd all go out together and meet on a Saturday night or go to a snooker club and have a bit of a good time.
He was very quiet, just like most of us really, being our first year, and you know, as time went on, we all got to know each other better.
And all the other lads used to give him stick because of his accent, but in the end, even though he won't admit it, he'd become a bit of a mank himself.
You know, we used to train at the Cliff in Littleton Road, and the young girls from around there used to always come and watch, and probably the favourite players were David Beckham and Ryan Giggs.
Beckham stood out because he could strike a ball and, you know, put it on a postage stamp for you wherever he asked him to do it.
He could kick the ball miles, and you could see as soon as I saw him play, you could tell that he was something special.